Hello witches, wizards, and those who are yet to receive their Hogwarts school letters, welcome to my Harry Potter kitchen. This is the YouTube series where I'm baking my way through the Harry Potter books, making recipes for all of the food and drink we find inside. If you missed last week's recipe where we made a Wizarding World inspired tinned soup, then make sure you check out the link down below in the description to catch up. And if it's your first time in the kitchen and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every Magic Monday when there's a brand new recipe. Speaking of which, if the soup didn't fill you up, let's see if there's any more food waiting. And with that, we have finished chapter 2, so it's off into chapter 3 we go, the burrow. Now Ron, Fred and George have just turned up outside Harry's window in a flying car, which is pretty cool, and they're gonna help him escape. So they're loading in all of Harry's stuff, including Hedwig, who's made a bit of noise and woken up Uncle Vernon, so they almost get caught, but they have managed to fly away safely, and on their way back to the burrow, they are talking about all of the fun, magical Muggle artifacts that their dad works with, and I can see our next recipe here. The teapot went berserk and squirted boiling tea all over the place. Looks like it's time for another brew. If you'd like to recreate this butterbeer inspired Harry Potter bubble tea, then all of the ingredients and instructions are up on my website, bradleybakes.co.uk. The link is down below in the description. Today we're going to be making a Harry Potter bubble tea, which you can now actually get at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So I thought I'd put my own spin on it by making a butterbeer version with caramel syrup. If you've never had bubble tea before, it is an Asian cold drink made from tea and tapioca pearls. Now tapioca pearls aren't everyone's cup of tea, so I'm also going to serve up 4 Hogwarts House inspired alternatives that you can make if you're not a fan of tea or tapioca. First up, we need to make our tea for the original bubble tea, and we're going to use a strong black tea for this. You want to brew it a little bit stronger than you typically have because we're going to mix it with milk and ice afterwards. I'm brewing a loose leaf tea, but you can also make yours from the bag if you prefer. Add your tea into a mug or your strainer and then pour over your hot water. Pop the lid on and allow it to brew for 5 minutes. While our tea is brewing, we're going to move on to preparing our tapioca pearls, which also conveniently take 5 minutes. Now these can be found in most Asian supermarkets and come dried in 2 varieties. Now the standard ones take about 2 to 3 hours to cook, and although they have a better texture, some people, like myself, don't always have that much time. So I prefer these quick cook versions, which we're just going to boil in 5 minutes and then cool down before we can put them into our drink. Place a saucepan onto a medium heat and then pour in your water. Bring this to the boil and then add in your tapioca pearls. Wait until the tapioca pearls float and then place a lid over the top. Cook them on a medium heat for 2 minutes and then turn off the heat and allow them to continue simmering with the lid on for another 2 to 3 minutes. Once they're fully cooked, remove the lid and then transfer them into some cold water to stop the cooking process. After 20 seconds, you then want to remove them from the cold water and then place them into a glass. And with that, the tapioca pearls are ready to go, and it's best to use them as soon as possible. It's actually quite a magical process to watch them cook. You'll see them change colour, you'll see them float and then shrink, you'll see them go bigger and then smaller. It is really, really interesting to watch, and a little magic going into our drink. Okay, at this point our tea is nice and brewed, so I'm going to take out my loose leaf and then allow it to cool slightly before we finish off our drink. As bubble tea on its own can be quite sharp, you can use syrups, sugar or honey to sweeten it. And because we want to add a little bit of Wizarding World magic to this one, I'm using some caramel syrup to bring out those butterbeer flavours. So I'm going to add that in along with my milk and then leave it to cool down completely before we finish off the bubble tea. Add in your caramel, milk to taste, and then stir through. Now we've got everything prepared, it is super simple to finish off the bubble tea. All we're gonna add in is a few teaspoons of the tapioca pearls into the bottom of our cup, and I'm using my Wizarding World of Harry Potter cup, and then we slowly pour over the cold tea. You can also add in some ice if you want it extra chilled. Assemble your bubble tea and then serve with a thick straw. Now, as I promised at the start, if you're not a fan of tea or tapioca, there are still some bubble tea alternatives for you. These can either be juice, smoothie, or milkshake based, and instead of tapioca pearls, they have little juice balls inside that when they pop in your mouth, release all the flavor. I found 4 in our Hogwarts House colors: strawberry, blueberry, passion fruit, and apple. And for this part, you can personalize it to your own tastes. So why not make a smoothie out of your favorite fruits or create your own signature juice mix. Slowly pour each of your juices, smoothies, or milkshakes over the pearls. So there you have it, 5 incredible Harry Potter inspired bubble tea recipes. We've got a traditional butterbeer inspired bubble tea, and then our Hogwarts House alternatives: strawberry, blueberry, passion fruit, and apple. Let me know down below in the comments which one is your favorite. Is it gonna be the traditional bubble tea with some butterbeer infusions, or one of our 4 Hogwarts House inspired alternatives? That is all for this week's recipe, but if you don't want to miss a thing from my Harry Potter kitchen, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every Magic Monday when there's a brand new recipe. I'm about to go and have myself all of these brews, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, wizards! Oh, that's good.